Welcome to the Nerd and Me podcast, and today I want to share with you guys some artwork that I got from attending Comic Cons over the years, starting way back from 2003 up to current. So, hope you like it. So, back in 2003 at the Wizard Con in Philly, uh, you were able to meet a lot of the artists, mostly from Crossgen actually. So this is Jeff Johns. He's a writer for DC Comics. At the time, he was doing Hawkman back in 2003, and currently he is kind of involved with the DC films, Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, as a producer. This is Bart Sears' work when he worked with Crossgen. He's done works like Exo Manowar and Boots and Babes in the Wizard magazine, teaching you how to draw. Luke Ross did this for me. This is Arwen from Sojourn from Crossgen Comics. Love the detail in this one. Even the bow looks so ornate. I really like this one a lot. Now this is Snake Plissken, and I wish I knew who this person was, but this artwork is amazing. I mean, look at the detail on this guy. I really don't remember who drew this one, but it's amazing. Now this is Steve Epting. He did a pirate for Crossgen called El Cazador, and he did Captain America with Ed Brubaker from issues 1 through 48, and this was actually a big book because this is where you got the Winter Soldier and the death of Captain America. This is a character named Crux from Crossgen, drawn by Sergio Corelio. Don't really remember too much about this particular character, but great artwork. And this is Obosan by Matthew Smith, again by Crossgen. Crossgen was really big in the early 2000s because they had a bunch of artists out there, and they met the fans and they drew for you. It was awesome. Now this is cute. This was actually drawn by Ron Marsh, who's actually a writer at the time for Crossgen. He was doing Scion, but he's really well known for Silver Surfer and Green Lantern. So at least he did a picture for me, which is cute. Now this is She, drawn by William Tucci, and he was really big back in the 90s where it was the bad girl era was like Cyblade, Lady Death, and She, of course. Now this is Jacqueline. This is drawn by an artist that I met at the con, and the Philly con, and the story is our bunch of nuns that turn to werewolves. I don't know if this actually eventually was made into a book, but yeah, he drew this for me. And this is The Tick, and this was actually drawn by a guy who was the animator on this series, so this cartoon came out in the early 90s. This is one of my favorite artworks. This is Lady Death by Fabrizio Fiorentino, who at the time was drawing Mystic for Crossgen. The detail on this is amazing. I was amazed at what he did for the sketchbook. So awesome. And again, we have Captain America drawn by Bart Sears. I love how he captured that big, thick neck Captain America. Looks so imposing. And this is Barbara Kessel, and again, she's a writer. She's not an artist, but I remember she told me that she said it was the first time someone asked her to draw in a sketchbook, so I thought that was pretty cool that she did this. This is a really cool Spider-Man pic. Was drawn by Sonny Lee. At the time, he's just an independent artist that you can see. I remember it was called Artist Alley in the back of the Wizard Con, so you can meet up-and-coming artists too. Now we come to Batman. This is Scott Hanna. He was the inker for most of the Batman books. And back in the early 2000s, he did The Outsiders, which was led by Nightwing. And Nightwing, Batman's buddy. This is drawn by Tom Rainey. He was doing The Outsiders as well. His character is named Loser. It was a comic book. I don't know if this guy does anything. I don't remember his name. All I remember was he wanted to draw my sketchbook. So here's this guy. And this is Wolverine, another amazing work by Fabrizio Fiorentino. He's such an amazing artist. This is definitely, I think, one of my top ones for sure. And another artwork done by Steve Epting from the book El Cazador by Crossgen. This is Lady Sin. I love Steve Epting, especially that run in Captain America. Totally blows my mind. Definitely one of my favorite runs. Great artist. Now, Greg Land did this picture of Arwen from the book Sojourn. This is definitely one of my favorite books from CrossGen. He does this photorealism kind of style. If you can see, it kind of looks like Denise Richards a little bit. Next up is Superman, of course. This was done by Joe Staten, who did the comic book version of the Superman Batman adventure, so based on the cartoon. This guy's been drawing for Marvel and DC since the 70s, a long time. I have no idea. I don't know who this is or who drew it or anything, but it's in my sketchbook. If anyone can figure that one out, let me know. Now, this is a badass Batman. I don't remember who drew it. I mean, it has a style of Fabrizio Fiorentino. I don't know if I bugged him that many times at the con, but gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. This is Nottingham, drawn by Mike Cho. Nottingham is from the book Witchblade, which was pretty popular back in the early 2000s. This was drawn by Tom Brevoort. He's an editor-in-chief of Marvel. I don't think he's an artist, but he did ask me who my favorite character was, and I said it was Iceman, and here he is. This is a super sweet Captain America drawn by Sean Chen. This is 2005. Geez, what comic book? I guess this is WizardCon LA. Yeah, probably. This was drawn by Dusty Abel. This is The Thing from the Fantastic Four. This guy's usually known for doing more Star Trek stuff, but he drew me The Thing anyway. That was cool. Now this is Firestar. This was drawn by Omar Saline. He's actually a local artist here in my town. My daughter's name is Angelica, and this is Angelica Jones. So, pretty cool. My first colored one in this book. I know this isn't a sketch, but since we're talking about Firestar, this is from the Stockton Con 2017. Kathy Garver, she actually did the voice of Firestar, so to have my daughter meet her was absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Sounds just like her. And another local artist, name is Pat Bart. His thing was he can draw anyone's face on a superhero, so I said, draw my daughter on Supergirl, and this was his rendition. Looks nothing like her. This is cool. This is back in 2016. I met the very tall Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter has been in comics for a long, long time. Back in 1978, when Stan Lee moved to LA to work on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Jim Shooter became the editor-in-chief, and he was the one that did the Secret Wars, which is a really cool storyline. It's where Spider-Man got his black costume, so a little thing there. And there's a picture of me. That's me, everybody. And also again at the 2016 WonderCon, Eric Larson. Yes, this guy's another big dude. He did Savage Dragon. He also drew for the Amazing Spider-Man. So really cool to meet him there. It's really funny. Back in the day, it was impossible to meet with these guys, and 2016, no one was visiting them. So it was pretty easy to meet these guys and have them do a little sketch for me. This is not in my sketchbook, but this is some artwork that was drawn for my daughter for her birthday. I met this artist from Instagram, so he sent that out for my daughter, which is pretty cool. I love the cartoony kind of look. And inside the package as well, he had like a little birthday card for her too. So we actually had this framed in her bedroom. So yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool. This one's definitely one of my favorites. This was done by LeBaron Murray. I met him through Instagram, and he actually sent me this picture. Now this one's actually hanging in my bedroom because, oh, this is fantastic. I absolutely love this one. I hope you enjoyed this little segment of my sketchbook. My name is Alan. I do a podcast with my friend Jonathan over at the Nerd in Me podcast. Check us out on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you hear podcasts. And till next time.